Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and welcome to the 125th episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors. Alright, now a lot has happened since last week's episode, primarily regarding iOS 6 and the Untethered jailbreak. So let's start there. First, on the 26th, Apple seeded iOS 6.1 Beta 5 to developers. Now that was 2 days before 6.1 Beta 4 was set to expire, and that was actually on a Saturday. And it's highly unusual for Apple to issue a new version of iOS on the weekend. However, because they were cutting it so close between Beta 4 and the next release, which happened to be Beta 5, they had to break their normal routine and issue the firmware to developers over the weekend. And what's interesting is that it was discovered even though the firmware is iOS 6.1 Beta 5, it was actually the GMC. Now for those of you who don't know, GM or Gold Master Edition firmwares are essentially the final firmware versions in Apple beta stages. And Gold Master Edition firmwares are always ready to release to the public at Apple's discretion. And this time around, curiously, instead of calling it iOS 6.1 GM, they opted to go with the beta denomination. And then 2 days later, on Monday, January 28th, Apple released iOS 6.1 to the public. The iOS update includes LTE support for new carriers, additional Siri functionality that allows for ticket purchases via Fandango, the ability to individually download songs through iTunes Match, and a new button that can reset the advertising identifier. And from Saturday until now, there have been a number of iOS 6, 6.0.1, 6.0.2, and 6.1 Untethered jailbreak updates, and I've actually made 3 videos on the status of the jailbreak. So if you guys want complete details, just be sure to check out those videos. I'll have links to them down below in the more info, as well as links to their corresponding articles. However, I'm going to briefly go over the news in this video and kind of just summarize it for you. First, it was revealed that the Evaders, the newly formed dev team that has taken it upon themselves to complete the development of the iOS 6 Untethered jailbreak, we're closer than ever to completing the jailbreak. And next, MuscleNerd unofficially confirmed that the Evaders will release an Untethered jailbreak utility for iOS 6 through 6.1 this weekend. Sunday, in fact. And yes, it also happens to fall on the same day as this year's Super Bowl. Afterwards, the new team launched their official website and unveiled the next major name in jailbreaking, Evasi0n. However, of course, in this spelling, instead of an O, it's actually a 0. And more recently, the Evaders updated their website to reflect their recent accomplishments. And we now know that they've completed development of the Untethered jailbreak utility for both Windows-based and OS X-based computers. Their next step is the creation of a Linux utility and testing. And finally, to wrap up the jailbreak news, I actually created an in-depth tutorial to show you guys how to jailbreak the iPhone 4, iPhone 3GS, and the 4th generation iPod Touch on 6.1. Now yes, this is a tethered jailbreak because essentially I am showing you guys how to use a red snow workaround to get a jailbreak on the latest firmware before the Evaders release their official Evasi0n utility to jailbreak all iOS-based devices on 6.1. So if you're interested in jailbreaking right now before Sunday and you have one of those older iDevices, just be sure to check out that tutorial. Alright, moving on from jailbreaking, the other day, Nowhere Else, a French site, posted images of what are allegedly components that belong to Apple's forthcoming iPhone 5S and the far-off iPhone 6. Now these components are said to be speaker enclosures for the next 2 iPhone generations. And Nowhere Else actually has a great track record when it comes to posting and publicizing images of next generation iDevice parts. So what you're looking at right now could indeed be the first official leak for the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 6. Next up, on January 29th, following the reports of a higher capacity iPad model, Apple announced that they will officially sell a 128GB 4th generation iPad model starting on February 5th. Now this of course isn't Apple's 5th generation iPad, but rather the latest model with the Retina display. And now Apple will officially sell 4 different capacity variations for their full-sized iPad. Now while this is definitely unusual, we're almost positive that when Apple launches the 5th generation iPad, they will no longer sell a 16GB capacity model. Instead, that will be replaced with the 32GB version, which will retain the same price as the current 16GB iPad. And finally, 9to5Mac recently posted unconfirmed images of what they believe could be the rear casing for Apple's next generation full-sized iPad. And the new images of the shell look strikingly similar to the alleged 5th generation iPad that was detailed from a report last week. And if the images are indeed of the official enclosure for Apple's forthcoming 5th generation tablet, then the full-sized iPad will adopt a slimmer, sleeker, lighter, and aluminum design from its cousin, the iPad mini. All right, now that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it, and don't forget, if you want to enter to win one of 2 Amazon $200 gift cards, just be sure to rate this video up, hit that subscribe button to be notified every time I release a new video, and leave a relevant comment down below in the comment section. It doesn't matter what your comment is, as long as it's relevant to this video, you will be automatically entered as soon as you post it. Now for the question of the day, because we're just so close, let me know down below in the comment section or on Best Tech Info, are you guys excited for Evasi0n to be released, and will you jailbreak your iDevice? If so, what are you most excited about? Essentially just anything related to the upcoming jailbreak you can leave down below or on Best Tech Info. And don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and add me in one of your circles inside of Google+, to be updated more often and to be notified as soon as I post my tutorial on the upcoming Untethered jailbreak. And until next time, this is ICU, signing out.